Have you ever wondered why a millionaire who conquered all of Chicago could be powerless against his own son's pain? Alexander Hayes stood frozen in the corner of a diner by Lake Michigan, his inner world as chaotic as the biting cold wind. He built a multi-million-dollar real estate empire from scratch. Yet why couldn't he save Noah from the abyss of loneliness, from a birthday spent silently weeping amidst empty wealth after losing his mother? Suddenly, the waitress Elena appeared, wiping the boy's tears with a gentle gesture like that of a loving mother, awakening a deep torment in him. Hope he thought was long dead, guilt surging forth. Have you ever felt that contradiction? Successful on the outside but broken within? The phone call he was about to make would turn everything upside down, heal wounds, and change 3 lives forever. Will it stir something in you? Before diving into a story that will keep you glued to the screen, I have a small favor to ask. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you love inspiring stories, and don't forget to leave a comment letting me know. Where are you watching from, and what time is it where you live? It always feels amazing to see the whole world come together just to share a meaningful moment.
Welcome to 30 Millionaire Stories, where success meets solitude, and every story heals a hidden wound. Subscribe and discover the heart behind the fortune.
Early in the morning, as the first rays of dawn glimmered through the glass skyscrapers of the Gold Coast, a dossier lay neatly on Alexander Hayes's polished walnut desk, its simple black leather cover concealing contents more captivating than any multi-million-dollar real estate contract he had ever signed. Ryan, his discreet assistant, with the reliable efficiency of a precision machine, had completed the task overnight. The plain cover read, Elena Maria Vargas, 24 years old. Alexander sat down, flipping through the pages with a mix of curiosity and anticipation, his inner world like an undercurrent beginning to surge. She was born in the vibrant Bronx neighborhood of New York, where bustling streets echoed with children's laughter and the aroma of street food. But fate had pushed her family to Chicago after a tragic construction accident claimed her father, a diligent laborer, 12 years ago. Her mother, Rosa, now worked as a housekeeper for wealthy families, cleaning luxurious homes she could never dream of owning. And her younger sister, Lila, only 15, was the center of every sacrifice, a fragile girl with a faint smile. He skimmed faster, and the portrait of Elena's life gradually emerged like a tragic painting, brimming with indomitable vitality. She had once received a prestigious scholarship to the Chicago Music Academy, her talent for composing and playing the piano bursting forth, specializing in Mexican folk fusion, blended with soulful jazz, melodies infused with cultural roots and deep personal pain. But she dropped out in her 3rd year, her artistic dreams abruptly shattered. The reason lay in the next page of the medical report, causing Alexander to pause, his heart tightening. Lila suffered from a complex congenital heart condition, her frail heart valve requiring urgent replacement surgery and ongoing gene therapy, costing millions of dollars. The family's insurance had long been depleted, leaving a gaping void that Elena filled with her exhausting efforts. She worked 3 shifts a day, waitressing by day under the glaring neon lights of Lakeview Diner, teaching piano to underprivileged children in the evenings, with notes carrying fragile hope, and cleaning offices late at night amidst darkened skyscrapers, all to pay off mounting medical debts and keep their small home in the unstable Englewood neighborhood, where rent was 4 months overdue. The dossier included candid photos, each like a knife stirring empathy in Alexander. One showed Elena on the L train at midnight, eyes closed from exhaustion, but hands still tirelessly scribbling music notes in a worn notebook, her musical talent shimmering through trembling pen strokes, transforming pain into melodies of hope. Another captured her beaming beside Lila in a sterile hospital room, oblivious to the smell of disinfectant and the cold hum of machines, leaving only the warmth of sisterly love that reminded him of long nights by his own sick brother's side in the past. There were no scandals, no dark secrets, just a young woman sacrificing her dreams to keep her sister alive. A quiet strength that made Alexander feel small before his own empire. But Ryan had dug deeper, uncovering a detail that touched his deepest memories. Elena had organized small charity performances at local bars, raising thousands of dollars for poor children with heart conditions. quiet acts that echoed his own impoverished childhood in Miami, where he went hungry so his mother could buy medicine for his brother. That lingering guilt now surged powerfully, making him realize Elena was not a charity case. He closed the dossier, his inner turmoil calmer than ever, understanding that an anonymous donation would insult her resilient pride. It had to be a fair deal, preserving her dignity and opening a real opportunity. That evening, he drove his understated black Tesla through the drizzling streets, heading straight to Lakeview Diner, where fate was about to unveil a greater surprise. Elena Vargas's shift finally ended in utter exhaustion, her body like a depleted machine after relentless hours of labor, her heart heavy with the weight of hospital bills and overdue rent. Holding a rag, she wiped down the last table, her aching back a reminder of sleepless nights cleaning offices, her dark circled eyes concealing faint hopes for Lila. The manager barked from the counter, "Hurry up, Vargas!" Elena only nodded, her inner world wavering between exhaustion and steadfast resolve. The diner's door swung open and Alexander Hayes stepped in, his millionaire real estate mogul aura instantly shifting the atmosphere. The manager straightened up, voice dripping with flattery. "VIP table right here, sir?" Alexander shook his head, his sharp gaze settling on Elena with quiet determination. "No need," he replied, his voice resonating naturally. "I'm here to see Elena Vargas." The words stunned Elena, her heart racing as she recognized the face from the dim corner the previous night. The man who had witnessed her wiping tears from a boy's face. Her mind churned. Was this trouble from an unfamiliar world or an unexpected opportunity? Alexander didn't wait long, his voice calm yet persuasive. "I have a business proposition for you." Elena swallowed hard, her hands trembling as she untied her apron, feeling as if she were stepping into a strange dream. They left the diner and entered his car, its luxurious leather interior starkly contrasting her familiar world, making Elena feel smaller. Sitting in the car, she steadied herself, her inner turmoil a mix of anxiety and curiosity. "Mr. Hayes, if this is about your son, I only wanted to help." Alexander turned to her, his eyes revealing rare gratitude, a crack in his hardened exterior. "On the contrary, Miss Vargas, you gave Noah the first genuine moment of kindness since his mother's passing. I owe you a great debt." Elena shook her head, her voice soft but firm. "You owe me nothing." Alexander pressed on, his words a blend of a businessman's logic and genuine emotion. "You're a talented musician with a rare empathy money can't buy. Noah needs a companion and piano teacher. A few hours a day playing music, talking, sparking joy. In return, you'll have your own studio to compose and pursue your dreams." The offer shocked Elena, sounding like a fairy tale amidst her harsh reality, her heart torn between doubt and hope. "What's the pay?" she asked, her voice trembling. Alexander replied calmly, $400,000 a year, with comprehensive insurance, including experimental surgery for Lila. Elena's world turned upside down, her vision blurring with emotion. Lila, her frail sister with a failing heart, now had a real chance at life, free from painful nights and crushing bills. Her heart surged with joy and fear, the image of her sister's radiant smile flashing like a beacon. "Why me?" she whispered, her voice thick with emotion. Alexander looked directly at her, his tone softening. "Noah needs someone genuine, not an employee. I saw how you wiped his tears. That gesture is something my money can't buy. This isn't charity, it's a solution to my problem. An opportunity for you." Elena thought quickly, images of frail Lila, glaring red bills, and buried musical dreams fully persuading her. She accepted with a background check and strict confidentiality agreement. Her heart lightened as a burden lifted. Alexander gave a faint smile, revealing a subtle surprise. He, too, had grown up in poverty like her, understanding the sacrifices made for loved ones. He drove her back to Englewood, the agreement quietly beginning, carrying a glimmer of hope for an unexpected future. The elevator to the Gold Coast penthouse glided smoothly without needing a button, its doors opening to a world of shimmering glass and boundless luxury. The vast view of Lake Michigan, a stark reminder of the chasm between two lives. Elena Vargas stepped inside, her heart stirred by the coldness of the minimalist decor. the lifeless white walls and marble floors reflecting a profound loneliness, where an ivory grand piano gleamed under soft lighting, seemingly out of place in the vast but empty space. Mrs. Gray, a stern assistant with neatly pinned hair and a sharp voice, gave Elena a quick tour, each step revealing a stark contrast. Elena's private room was larger than her dilapidated Englewood apartment, with a plush bed and large windows welcoming lake breezes, but it was the music studio that truly shook her soul. State-of-the-art equipment from professional microphones to top-tier composition software, all beckoning her long-buried dreams. She touched the piano keys, a familiar sensation surging within, mingled with anxiety about this new world where she was no longer an anonymous waitress, but part of the Hayes empire. Her first meeting with Noah took place in the sprawling living room, the boy seated on a white leather sofa, his eyes wide with surprise as he recognized her. "You're Elena from the diner?" he asked, voice hesitant but a smile breaking through, his hands still clutching a napkin with a crude spaceship drawing. Elena smiled warmly, her heart melting at his innocence, and they quickly bonded over their first notes together. They played the piano, composing a playful song about adventures on the lake, Mexican folk melodies blending with modern jazz rhythms, turning the cold penthouse into a space filled with laughter and creativity. Noah gradually opened up, sharing fragments of his grief over losing his mother, his trembling voice revealing pent-up loneliness, while Elena responded with memories of her late father, her quiet sacrifices touching the boy's heart, forging a fragile but genuine connection. Alexander watched from afar, often standing behind his office's glass door, his heart swelling with gratitude and guilt as he saw his son transform. Noah's shoulders straighter, eyes brighter, a smile returning after months of gloom. But this peace was soon disrupted by Victor Lang, Alexander's brother-in-law, who managed Amelia's trust fund with a polished, handsome facade, but a salesman's smile that never reached his eyes. Victor treated the penthouse like his personal domain, barging in unannounced, his heart filled with jealousy and calculation as he eyed Elena. "The waitress turned court jester now," he sneered, holding Elena's sheet music with disdain, his tone insinuating. "Hidden talent or a gold digger in disguise?" Victor relentlessly tried to undermine Elena's confidence, his subtle actions like accidentally spilling coffee on her music notebook, smudging the ink and piercing Elena's heart with silent sabotage. He whispered to Mrs. Gray about the employee getting too close to the young master, his words like poison sowing doubt, making Elena feel like an outsider in this wealthy world. Yet she endured it all, her resolve strengthened by Noah, who now saw her as a true friend, and Lila, whose health improved with initial treatments, her frail heart stabilizing. Late at night, Elena video called her mother, Lila's cheerful voice recounting the upcoming surgery, her sister's smile a soothing balm for Elena's pain, giving her strength amidst the encroaching shadows. However, Victor concealed a larger scheme, not only embezzling the trust fund, but forging documents to seize the Hayes fortune, a secret quietly simmering, waiting to erupt. Dear audience, take a moment to relax or grab a glass of water, then keep listening to the story. More surprises await. Comment 1 if you're enjoying the story, so we know you're still with us. Victor Lang, with his calculating and increasingly evident jealousy, began discreetly digging into Elena Vargas's past, his heart seething with fear of losing control over her warm presence in the penthouse. He hired a shady private investigator, unearthing old records from when Elena was 15, a desperate period after her father's sudden death in a construction accident, when her family was drowning in debt, and Lila needed music lessons to escape her pain. In a moment of weakness, Elena had stolen a cheap set of piano strings from a local shop, hoping to bring her sister a small joy. A youthful mistake quickly discovered, leading to a sealed record after she completed community service. A blemish faded by time, but now a sharp weapon in Victor's hands. His heart relished holding this detail, a scar easily exploited to sow doubt, making Elena appear as an opportunist in the wealthy Hayes world. He began subtly poisoning Noah, taking advantage of private moments to whisper in the boy's ear, his tone feigning concern but laced with venom. "She's only after our money, kid." Those words crept into Noah's mind, stirring a vague fear in a boy accustomed to loneliness. causing his heart to waver between trust in Elena and the dark suspicion planted by his uncle, a cunning strategy to isolate her from the Hayes family. When Alexander flew to Miami for a critical meeting about a massive real estate project, leaving the penthouse in temporary peace, Victor saw it as a golden opportunity to act. He appeared with a perfectly staged, remorseful expression, bearing a reconciliatory gift, a high-end German set of piano strings for Noah, something he knew would deceive both the boy and Elena. Victor's heart coldly calculated each step, his fake smile masking dark intentions as he entered the music studio, where Elena was turned away, mixing paint for a new creation, a painted music score, an innovative blend of visual art and piano melodies to help Noah express emotions. The warm atmosphere of the lesson was abruptly disrupted, but Elena, with her resilient heart, accepted the superficial apology to maintain peace for the boy's sake. In a moment when Elena was focused on mixing colors, her back turned to him, Victor stealthily executed his plan. His hand quietly opened her instrument case, slipping in Amelia's sparkling diamond wedding ring, a sacred keepsake Alexander cherished as the last treasure of his late wife. The act made his heart tremble briefly with the risk, but greed overshadowed all, turning a symbol of love into a tool of destruction. Not stopping there, he added a cunning twist, sending an anonymous email to Alexander from a fake account titled "Suspicion of Theft in the Household," accompanied by a cleverly edited photo showing Elena near a pawn shop in Inglewood, her face seamlessly inserted as undeniable evidence. Victor's plan was now perfect, a sophisticated web targeting Alexander's deepest fear of loss, the lingering pain of Amelia's death making him quick to suspect any threat to his family. Victor's heart reveled, certain that Elena would be ousted, clearing the way for him to continue embezzling the trust fund undetected, but the darkness was silently enveloping, awaiting its moment to erupt. Alexander Hayes returned from Miami with his mind still reeling from intense meetings, but the anonymous email suspicion drove him to act immediately, his heart torn between business rationality and a vague intuition about the truth. He summoned Elena to his private office, the atmosphere stifling like an interrogation room, where Amelia's diamond wedding ring, a sacred keepsake now deemed missing, was found in Elena's instrument case. Victor stood nearby, his face grave, but his heart exultant, his performance flawless as he pointed at Elena. "She has a history of theft, Alexander. Old records prove it." His words stabbed Elena like a knife, reducing her to pieces, her heart shattered by the sudden betrayal, her trembling voice denying every accusation. Her eyes blurred with tears and the fear of losing everything. Her job, hope for Lila, and the fragile trust she had built. Elena pleaded, her heart surging with desperation and anger, begging for her room to be searched immediately to prove her innocence. But Victor swiftly found the ring in her case, a staged act that made her feel the floor collapse beneath her. She accused him of setting her up, her choked voice pointing directly at Victor like a condemnation from her wounded heart, her soul seething with images of her kindness being exploited. Alexander hesitated, his heart torn between cold business logic, viewing Elena as a risk to be eliminated to protect his family and empire, and a nagging guilt about her sincerity, the memory of her wiping Noah's tears flashing like a faint light amidst the darkness of doubt. Suddenly, Noah burst into the room, his face pale but his heart brimming with courage. He had not only witnessed Victor slipping the ring into Elena's case, but also overheard his call with a creditor, confessions of embezzling the trust fund and forging documents to fuel his gambling. Noah spoke up bravely, his voice steady despite trembling. "Uncle Victor lied about everything. I saw him plant the ring and heard him talk about stealing Mom's trust fund money." His testimony stunned Alexander, his heart struck as if by lightning, the pain of his wife's loss and betrayed trust surging within. He immediately called Ryan for an urgent audit, the cold numbers revealing the harsh truth. Victor had stolen millions from Noah's trust fund, using forged documents to cover personal debts from long nights at Las Vegas casinos, a sophisticated web of deceit to seize the Hayes fortune. Victor panicked, his face ashen as his mask crumbled, his heart chaotic with fear and feeble excuses, confessing everything but pleading, I only needed the money temporarily. Alexander's rage erupted, his heart ablaze with rare fury, his voice icy as he condemned, "You exploited my wife's memory, harmed Elena and Lila to hide your pathetic crimes." The police were swiftly called, and Victor was handcuffed and led away, his heart now filled only with despair at his total collapse, leaving a heavy atmosphere in the office. Alexander turned to Elena, his heart overflowing with remorse and gratitude, kneeling to apologize with a trembling voice, revealing he had expedited Lila's surgery from the start, a quiet gesture born of empathy. More surprisingly, he confessed to being betrayed similarly in his youth, that pain now urging him to heal through trust, turning the moment into a true bridge between two wounded hearts. After a year of quiet yet transformative change, the Gold Coast penthouse was no longer a symbol of cold luxury, but had become a true home, where laughter and melodies echoed like the breath of a new life. Elena Vargas and Noah Hayes often sat by the ivory grand piano, composing joyful songs, the boy's heart now filled with happiness instead of the old loneliness. While Elena found peace in each note, her buried musical dreams now vibrantly reborn. Lila, Elena's sister, after a successful heart surgery enabled by groundbreaking gene therapy funded by the Hayes estate, now ran and played through the vast hallways, her once frail heart beating strongly, joining her brother and sister in mischievous games, transforming the once lifeless space into one brimming with familial warmth. Victor Lang, the betrayer, was now serving a prison sentence for embezzlement and fraud, with Amelia's trust fund restored twofold, not only compensating for losses, but expanding to support children with heart conditions. A silent act of atonement from Alexander. Elena, her heart healed through months spent with Noah and Lila, finally reached the pinnacle of her dreams with her debut concert at the legendary Carnegie Hall in New York, an emotional return to her Bronx roots. The centerpiece, Lake Winds, a sweeping symphony chronicling Noah's journey from lonely grief to reborn hope, resounded under the stage's shimmering lights, its Mexican folk notes interwoven with modern jazz painting a delicate transformation, leaving the audience spellbound by the power of kindness. The highlight of the performance, a special piece capturing the Lake Michigan diner moment, had evolved into an emotional symphony where Noah's tears and Elena's gentle wiping became a symbol of healing, touching the hearts of hundreds, reminding them of hidden wounds in their busy lives. At the concert's climax, Alexander Hayes took the stage, his heart stirred by the music, memories of his wife's loss and past loneliness dissolving before the power of newfound love. He knelt before Elena, holding a new ring, not a sparkling diamond, but a silver bracelet etched with lake winds, a symbol of a sincere vow. "You've healed me and my family. Let me love you, forgiving our pasts." Elena, tears of joy streaming down her cheeks, her heart overflowing with happiness and gratitude, accepted the proposal with a radiant smile, feeling forgiveness ripple like the symphony's final notes. Noah and Lila cheered from the front row, rushing onto the stage to embrace them, the new family holding each other under the warm stage lights, a perfect moment erasing all divides of wealth and deceit. This story proves that a simple act of kindness holds the power to heal the deepest wounds, sparking love and forgiveness that surpass all deceit and divides of wealth. Alexander, once a lonely millionaire consumed by work and pain, learned to love truly, opening his heart to a new family with the sincerity he had once lost. Elena found not only her musical dreams, but a true family, where her sacrifices were rewarded with complete happiness. If a moment of kindness has ever changed your life, share it, for compassion spreads like lake winds, bringing endless happiness to all. Like the video if you feel healed, and subscribe for more inspiring stories like this. What act of kindness has healed your heart? The story of Alexander Hayes reminds us that true wealth lies not in millions of dollars or skyscrapers, but in quiet acts of kindness that can bridge divides. A simple gesture of wiping tears sparked a chain reaction, exposing deceit, healing broken hearts, and building a family from strangers. Elena's compassion not only saved Noah, it redeemed Alexander from isolation, proving that forgiveness can mend the deepest scars of betrayal and loss. In a world often divided by wealth and deceit, this story whispers that empathy is the greatest power, turning pain into purpose and loneliness into love. If you've ever felt the emptiness of success or the weight of sacrifice, let this be your moment of healing. A small gesture can rewrite fate. Reflect. Has someone's kindness ever changed your path? Share in the comments below. Your stories will inspire us all. Thank you for joining this journey. If it touched your heart like the video, subscribe for more real-life inspiring stories and share this video with someone who needs a reminder of hope. Together we can spread compassion across America. What act of kindness has healed your heart? Connect in the comments.